Mark Larsen here for the Dreamcatcher podcast. Thanks for joining us. Today, my guest is Andy Grant. Welcome.
Hello, Mark. Good to be here.
Nice to have you here. So, Andy, we haven't known each other very long. I mean, just days, basically
Yeah.
hours. So, thanks to a lady who suggested that I reach out to you. So, Andy, a little bit of background of yourself.
Whew, that's a loaded question. How far back do I dare go? Um, yeah, let's give the whole dirty story. So, from a very young
Okay.
age, I was a very depressed and even suicidal kid.
Wow.
Um, your show is all about dreams, and for a
Yes.
long time, I thought my dream was to die.
Oh,
That's how
wow.
bad things were. But uh, I'm glad that I was very bad at dying.
Me
When
too.
when you realize I realized at age about 20, I'm not good at living. I'm not good at dying. There's got to be a better way,
Hmm.
and that's what really started to open me up to personal growth, to spiritual growth. And today, uh, yeah, I'm a transformation coach. I'm an energy healer. I'm a very spiritual person. I'm initiated of something called the Modern Mystery School.
Okay.
I'm growing and expanding every day. I am honestly thrilled to be alive, which is something I didn't
Awesome.
think was possible. So I
Awesome.
am living my best dreams. I really am.
Awesome. That's two thumbs up. So, I mean, that is. So, why did you, I mean, did you have a terrible childhood or why did you want to not be around?
Yeah. So my parents got divorced so young that I don't remember us together.
Oh,
And so
wow.
they were high school sweethearts. My mom got pregnant in college. They got married. My dad worked two full-time jobs and kept going to college, so it was a stressful time for them. And I'm 5 years old when my parents get divorced. It's very acrimonious. The
Okay.
first memories I have of my dad are with police and lawyers at the door demanding to see me.
Oh,
So it was a
wow.
fight over me. But at that same time, I began getting molested by an adult neighbor.
Okay.
And
Jeez.
I thought if I tell anybody, I'll be the next man kicked out of the house.
Yeah.
And I was an only child, so just me and my mom, and everyone's
Okay.
talking to me, and even at age 5, you're the man of the house. You've got to take care of your mom. I'm like, all
Oh,
right,
what
well,
a,
I better shut it all down.
yeah.
And my dad would often say that high school are the best years of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And at age, 6, 7, 8, I'm like, why would anyone go beyond the best years of my life? That doesn't make
Right.
sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now is not feeling too great, but maybe high school is going to be the peak.
Sure. Right.
So, again, from a very young age, I thought that I would die by my own hands after high school.
Wow.
Um, as things went along, with that worldview, my life wasn't the most pleasant thing.
I bet
How
not.
you see the world is how you experience the world, and I saw the world as a place that I wasn't safe. I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
trust men. I couldn't trust
Mm-hmm.
adults, and I had to keep all of my emotions and darkest thoughts to myself in order to not upset my mom. I had to be the good man of the house, to be a good boy.
Right.
So the suicidal thoughts get really intense. I'm making attempts on my life as early as 12, 13,
Wow.
16, 17. And then again, finally at 20, I'm like, all right, I'm not good at
Wow.
this. I like, and it
Yeah.
was, it's a path I hope nobody in the world has to go through, but it took me multiple attempts, so-called failures at
Mm-hmm.
suicide before I could contemplate the glimmer of the possibility that maybe I'm supposed to be here.
Right. Yeah. After all those attempts, and I'm glad you were not successful at any of them. But gosh, being a kid's supposed to be your happiest years, and to put that on you're the man of the house at that age. That is a lot of well, it's a lot of burden, a lot of weight. I don't think
Yeah, and so
I
yeah,
don't know
it
how
felt
to
like
handle.
the world is just full of pressure, and this. I just had this strong sense as a child, like this is not what I thought I was gonna get. You know, um,
No.
yeah,
So.
and it was a time like my parents. I didn't know anybody else that was divorced. It was a while
Mhm.
ago. Now it's
Okay.
unfortunately much more common,
It is.
and I was an only child, so I there was nobody I could share my burden with. And I knew my parents loved me. They tried to get me help. And I
Okay.
would
Okay.
tell child psychologists just enough to make them think they discovered something because I thought I was so broken that I was not worthy of your assistance. So I'd give you a nugget
Wow.
like, "Oh yeah, I remember this great time or had this weird memory." So I did not remember the molestation until I was 20 years old. After I had this kind of
Really?
epiphany, yeah, I had blocked it all out, and then there's so much in the media about false childhood memories and can you
Right,
trust stuff. So
right.
I saw that thing. So when I was 30, I went to a hypnotist to have
Okay.
myself regress back to age 5 to see if this molestation thing even happened. And again, I share this so no one does it. It was a horrible experience. It happened. I
Really?
was there. It was
Okay.
it was gross. It took a lot. It wasn't just 3, 2, 1, you're back. I wasn't. She had to cancel her next appointment and really work with me to help me get more present again because I was there. It was not.
Wow.
Yeah, again, uh,
You've
trust
been
your
through.
memories. Yeah, don't trust the people telling you that
Yeah.
your memories aren't
Right.
real because I'm like,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, how you've gotten to today. I mean, that is amazing that you got through. I'm so thankful you got through all that. But how did you do the rest of your childhood? I mean, with that many suicide attempts, I mean, they must have. I hope they gave you help or tried to help you on those other attempts.
Yeah, I mean, people tried to help me. But by the time I was in high school, I was on psych meds, and they just made me feel like a zombie. I literally
Oh,
remember
which
walking
drugged
into
you
my
up.
locker door, like, what is this? Like, if this is normal,
Uh,
like, I don't want this at all. It made me, they have warning labels. Like, I felt more suicidal once I was getting pharmaceutical help. It was not good.
really?
I went into a world famous mental health hospital, McLean's Hospital in Boston, and I had a horrible reaction to the meds. I had a
Okay.
toxic reaction that it was so bad. Like I had full body tremors, I had hallucinations, I had tactile hallucinations. I thought things were crawling on me. And they
Uh-huh.
told my parents that one of my friends must have smuggled in some street drugs to me. And like the only friends that visited
What?
me were like the straightest arrows. They were not going to do
Wouldn't have done that, yeah.
they weren't going to break any rules. They were like, "Oh my God, my friends in the mental hospital, and they were brave enough to come and see me." Um,
Wow.
but as an adult, I got my records back, and in the records of the
Okay.
hospital, it said toxic reaction. And they did also I just had I was over medicated, but something it was a bad mix for me, so it was not.
Unbelievable. So it's got to have been such a for being so frustrated that nobody really kind of was taking you seriously. I mean, they were kind of taking you seriously, but
Yeah,
not really on the right things.
yeah,
So,
and again, that's what made me. It was kept reinforcing. Like I
yeah.
have these thoughts because I'm supposed to do something because all the attempted help isn't working for me. Again, so I felt hopeless, helpless, flawed, and broken beyond. I felt like this hospital's got this great history and record, but they can't
Right,
help me.
right.
So that's how messed up I am. Like, wow,
Yeah,
I really gotta get. It's almost like I've got to get serious about getting out of here.
yeah. I mean, oh, what for something what a child to go through, to just to do. I guess I always look back, which I've never been through anything like that. That it may be who the person I am today, but looking back, but how? I mean, what when you stopped your last suicide attempt? What changed it that you stopped right then and there?
So I had attempted by a means that had already not worked.
Okay.
Right. So that's when I realized, like, all right, I'm just going through the motions. This is like I'm trapped in this habit of when things get tough, I'll try to check out.
Okay.
And since I'm repeating things that already don't work, and I remember I was in the fetal position on my bed, and I'm just bawling, like, oh, what, and I'm pleading, I'm begging, and I was not raised with any sort of religion, which I thought made me an atheist. But at
Okay.
that time, for the first time, I felt a different voice and presence
Mm-hmm.
outside of me,
Mm-hmm.
not the normal voice in my head that like, you
Right.
stink, get out of
Right.
here. It was something much more. Oh my, I'm getting emotional now. The sense of uplifting and just more than this meat soup.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
and that voice told me if you share your story, all this pain will be worth it.
Yep.
And until
Yes.
that point, I thought sharing my story may just meant opening and telling people, like really
Right.
open to help,
Right.
right? Because
Yeah.
until then, I had just been given pieces. So that's when I went willingly into a hospital. That's when the molestation was uncovered. So that's when my growth really started. And then
Wow.
later, as an adult, I was actually a screenwriter for a bit, and I had been on a trip to
Okay.
Hollywood, and I did manifesting. I was visualizing at a vision board, and I saw this
Cool.
scene of celebrating, like, oh my God, it all happened. And I'm
Yep.
flying back home to Boston, and I get that almost just I think for the second time, this voice, this presence outside of me
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
saying, "That's great, Andy, but it's time to stop making up stories and tell your own."
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no.
Yeah. And that
So yeah,
changes the whole,
the
narrative.
fiction stopped, and I
Yeah.
really started making videos and started writing books, and started sharing myself.
So, I mean, was that difficult the first time to open up that way? I would think it'd
Oh
been
sure.
difficult.
Oh,
So,
I was terrified of posting videos. I was terrified
I
of,
can,
the trolls, the attacks, and who would.
yeah.
Like, again, my podcast is called Real Men Feel, and I didn't
Hmm.
feel like a man.
Hmm.
I'm this emotional mess. I'm crying all the time. I was raised by a woman, so I'm not masculine enough. All
Hmm.
these different things. Um, but now those sort of now when I get attacked online, I
Uh-huh.
laugh. I'm like, oh, good, I triggered someone. Yay!
I hear you. Oh, it is. And I also know that voice we talked about the other day. That voice is kind of got me to where I am at today too. It's a different voice, and when you hear it, I look forward to that voice.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
it's just like it directs me very much. But so okay, we were talking about podcasting here. So your podcast, how long have you been doing your podcast?
Oh my goodness. It's wow, 8 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow.
But I've took
So
there were a couple. There've been like an 8 month break, and once there was a year long break. But yeah, it started in 2016.
what was the impetus to start that?
I was at a networking event, and I'd been working as an energy coach and Akashic Records reader, and most of my clientele had always been women. But all the women I meet, because I look like I do, they assume I have this like army of men behind me that I'm helping, and I'm like, oh, it's just
Yeah.
not like that. Women are braver to do that inner work.
Mm-hmm.
But I
That's
told
true.
someone overheard me talking about wanting to do something more with men.
Mm-hmm.
So this woman she ran an art gallery, and they were all
Okay.
speakers. So she asked me to come in and speak about masculinity at this art gallery. And I said, sure.
Interesting.
And then on the way home, like, what did I just say yes to? I don't know what I'm just-
Yeah, I understand that one.
So
Yeah.
the real men feel phrase came out of me putting this presentation together, because I saw,
Okay.
real men don't eat quiche, real men don't eat pink, and
Right.
eat
Yeah.
pink, don't wear pink,
I knew
and
what
all
you
this
meant.
nonsense. So I thought, what if real men felt? What
Yes.
if
Amen.
you saw a man in public crying and you said, wow, look at that real man, look at that brave man over there.
Exactly.
So that phrase stuck, and again, I knew I was still feeling this calling. Somehow I'm supposed to serve men more. And I received a healing called a life activation. And
Okay.
that really, it brings more light into your physical body. It makes your talents stronger. It brings more energy, more essence into you, and your path of what you're meant to do becomes clearer.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks after that, I'm like, oh, podcast, and it's called Real Men Feel. And I was afraid
Cool.
still. So I asked
Well,
a friend of mine. So I asked a friend
uh-huh.
of mine. He's a gay Mormon from Utah, and I'm a married
Okay.
cis man in New England. So I thought, oh, we'll cover lots of bases together.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that is
And
cool.
so we start off just talking to each other about being men, and then and it's funny. I'm used to being a quitter. I'm used to like packing up my ball and going home when things get rough.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought
Mm-hmm.
I want to at least get to 3 episodes before I give up.
Wow.
By the third episode, people are like, "Can I be a guest? Hey, can I come on?" I'm like, "Really?" Like,
Haha.
"Oh, okay, we have guests now." and
Very,
and now I'm closing on episode 400.
and congratulations on that. That's a big undertaking, and I mean, I'm so glad you blew past three episodes. I can understand that. Mine was 10. It's just like, and it's just, but I'm glad that I am still going on this,
Yeah.
because I get to meet awesome people like you and hear your story, your backstory, and what a backstory. I mean, so real men. What do you talk about, or where do your guests come from? All walks or
Yeah, again, it started as friends, connections, and now I've gotten big enough that I get PR
uh-huh.
companies and people are pitched to me all the time. But I love it when I have a guy come on who's never been on a podcast. So,
Mm-hmm.
the
Cool.
simplest story is a man comes on, shares his story, and shares how he's being of service to the world. That's the
Nice.
simplest thing. But we cover it's a lot of mental health issues, personal growth, spiritual growth. I've had men come on and talk about how they have been the victims of domestic abuse. Kind of had men come on and talk about how they feel the court system is just stacked against men in terms of
Yeah.
custody and things. I've had guys come up and talk about addiction, sexual addiction, share horrible things that they've done, and now how they've
Wow.
grown out of that and being of service to other people.
Right.
It's
Right.
all one thing that maybe someone told me it. I missed it as a kid.
Okay.
That
Okay.
how much being of service to someone else, how much joy that brings back to you.
It
Yeah.
does.
So I learned. So there were a couple episodes of Real Men Feel where I'm solo, and I'm depressed, and
Okay.
I just hit record. And
Cool.
those are there's one show that I've never listened to. I just said, oh man,
Really?
I wonder if I could help anyone by opening up about how miserable I am. Because I was very suicidal at that time. I think it was like 5 years ago.
Wow.
Anyway, I would get messages like, I'm scared of how much I resonate with this episode. I was like, wow.
Okay.
So I was tapping into things, and people would say, I've never been suicidal, but I could so identify with everything you said here. Like, well, I guess that's good. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. I know what you mean
But yeah,
there.
so we go to some dark places, but most shows have a lot of humor and lightness too. Because
Okay.
I believe, when we can make fun of ourselves, that's when we really healed.
I 100% agree. Yeah. When you're still in it so serious, you take it so seriously. Yes, I understand that you aren't ready to. So, okay, when does your podcast drop?
Let's see. These days, it is now every Friday about 5 o'clock Eastern is a new episode.
Okay, awesome. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see the podcast and yourself?
So this is a challenge for anyone that's ever been suicidal.
I wonder.
This is one
Yeah.
of those really hard things, like financial planning and planning the
Right.
future. Like,
Right. Right.
it really goes against my oldest habits. Um, but yeah, in 5 years, like I'm doing everything I want to be doing.
Cool.
It's just the scale. So my vision, I would love Real Men Feel to become a global brand, be positively impacting the lives of hundreds of thousands of people.
That
And
sounds awesome.
I've got listeners. Last time I looked, I think I'm in 152 countries. And every
Cool.
now and then, I get, oh, hey, you're top 10 in Egypt this week. You're top 10 in Israel this week. Oh, I'm like, wow, that's cool. And
It is.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like because I mean sometimes I'm in like some of those and it's like you never don't think about those people listening to podcasting like that or Africa. I'm
yeah.
amazed how many people in Africa live. And it's all cool. And so since this is a Dreamcatcher podcast, I have to ask what were your dreams growing up, or did you have any dreams growing up?
No, I definitely did. Yeah, but before, and I don't want to make it sound like every day of my childhood was horrible. I've just only life was up and down, but I thought the good times were the lie and the feeling bad was the truth. But
Really?
yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah.
interesting.
But again, before everything went really dark, I wanted to be an astronaut or a garbage man.
Love it.
Because I thought they both seemed equally cool to me.
Yeah,
You're
cool.
riding
I
on a
love
cool,
that.
you got a cool ride either way, hanging
Yeah,
from the
that's
inside the
true.
ship,
Yes.
out the back of the garbage truck,
Uh-huh.
and actually did pursue. So I probably gave it up. Like through elementary school, I was writing to senators. I had a scrapbook of pictures that NASA sent me, and
Nice.
I was targeting the Air Force Academy. But again, that suicidal nature, that give up, that high school is the peak, was always in the back of my mind. So again, when things got tough, I would decide to check out.
Wow.
Yeah. But
That's
I was
and
good at school, and that was not like I was
really
good in
okay.
school. It came naturally to me, but was just I got bullied for being smart.
Mm,
In high school, senior year of high school, the class rankings came out, and I was ranked third in my class.
nice.
And yeah, no, I was terrified.
Really, you were terrified.
Yeah, I thought I was just a lord of the idiots in a sea of idiots. Like I thought if I went to college, like my whole town I'd be founded as the fraud that I am. I did not feel smart. I was just,
Wow.
my parents were both teachers. So
Okay.
my mom taught fourth grade. So I
Okay.
always feel like I'm just regurgitating third and fourth grade back to people all through high school. That's all that's happening. There's nothing new being taught to me. It's just that I remembered elementary school well.
I mean, wow, different perspective. So how do you get over that? How did you get over that?
Um, how did I get over that? It's doing what I fear.
Yeah, I hear
It's
you there.
accepting that I'm here for a reason. No one's judging me harsher than I'm judging myself.
True.
And when I started to give myself a break, life is meant to be fun.
It
And
is.
allow myself to have fun. Like it's
Yes.
fun. It is.
It
Like
is
I've
fun.
done
Yes.
amazing things. I have created and lived a life that I really enjoy. And that's why I know like somehow inside of me there were bigger dreams, better dreams than I was allowing myself to think.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Interesting.
Yeah. So I had to go into I had to willing to be dark. I had to be
Right.
willing to have the
Right.
dark nights of the soul to get through
Right.
it. Because on the
Right.
other side, so I think for a long time I would touch my depression and retreat.
Okay.
When I finally was willing to go into it, and again explore the molestation and heal. And
Right.
one of the biggest things I did for myself was this holotropic breath work, which is like hours long.
Oh,
It's a form
wow.
where people just you breathe constantly in a fast pace, and you over oxygenate your blood, and you have
Okay.
like a trippy experience. And I did it was the first personal growth thing I went to. It was a week-long meditation retreat, and we did this one night, and I had never heard of it before.
Mm-hmm.
I mourned my suicide attempts. I realized I'd
Ah,
survived attempted murder. And it was the first time that healing really started. And I wrote my mom, my dad, and myself letters of apology for the pain I put
wow.
everyone through, including myself.
Wow.
And that's what really began. So it's really starting with forgiveness is
Right.
when my healing was really open and available to me.
That is amazing. I mean, that I love. Wow. It's just wow. I mean, it just. I can't. So to today, I mean, how? I mean, do you still have those? Even now, you said 5 years ago you had with the suicide thing. Do you still have to? Is something maybe lifelong you'll have to deal with?
It,
You think?
I always tell people that once you've seriously contemplated suicide, that thought will always be there,
Really?
looking for the weak times, the dark times. And it's true. And then when it happens to me, I think I should be different. And it catches me off guard. So yeah, the last time I was depressed was probably now I guess 2 years ago. It was the last time the Real Men Field show just stopped. I stopped everything. I
Really?
just because I was like, why can't I just be someone that goes to work, comes home, watch TV, and be satisfied? Why do I have to pour myself out? Why do I have to do all these? Why do I have to be of service? So I stopped it all. And again, I was like tempting my own darkness. So it was this real period of apathy,
Okay.
not depression, suicide. I was just completely apathetic, and it lasted a long time. And I realized so what I had actually been after was an experience like I was 20. I wanted
Okay.
I'm gonna make myself feel horrible so that that presence shows up again. I want another divine
Wow.
experience to tell me I should keep going, right?
Okay.
Finally, after months, I did a meditation, and I'm like, I'm dawning on this. This is real. I'm like, oh, I'm keep doing this because I'm waiting for something to happen outside of me.
Yeah.
I get this really subtle voice like, "Isn't being here enough? Like, what more signs do you want?"
Hmm.
And I'm like, okay. And then it all stopped. Podcast started the next day. I'm feeling like it was just like an on-off switch had been done.
That is amazing. I mean, so do you have something you know that triggers you to go to something like that?
Hmm, that's a really good question. I'd like to think if I knew the trigger, it would never happen.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Uh, but it was a general unhappiness. Again, I was looking at my life, and instead of changing for the better, I said, what if I do less? So I decided to change things by retreating, and that was not the answer for me.
And I can
Right.
see that
If,
too. I
I
can.
bet if I had somehow tried to talk it out, if I had made a podcast episode going,
Hmm.
I'm feeling like this,
Right.
that period wouldn't have happened.
Okay. Okay. So, what advice, if you would give advice to somebody going through something similar to you, what advice would you give to them?
First, you're not alone,
Hmm.
and you are worthy,
Yes.
right? Where none of us are flawed, none of us are broken. Um, we are all perfectly who we are, and we're
Yes.
here to grow, to
Yes.
expand.
Amen.
And a lot of the spiritual work I do, one of the messages that has been shared the most, the expansion of our soul is what causes and drives the expansion of the universe.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
we're here, like our soul loves new experiences,
Right.
right? Even ones that feel painful to us as a human, the soul's like, oh,
Right.
cool, this is new.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I used to think and be frustrated and upset that there was always more. Oh, there's more to heal, there's more to learn. Come on. But I'm like,
Okay.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, good, there's more. We're
Yeah.
still here. There's
Perspective.
still work to do. There's
Yes.
more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
With
it's all our own mindset,
it is
right?
very, very much.
When I was a kid, I thought life sucks, then you die.
Hmm.
And this just couldn't be further from the truth,
True. Yeah.
unless that's what you believe.
Yeah.
What you believe is what you'll perceive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
No, and
So
I
I
think
know, one of the big missions for Real Men Feel and for me being open and transparent, I want joy more associated with masculinity,
Amen.
right?
Yes,
Being a
yes,
man is awesome. We
it
should be
is.
excited and thrilled, right?
Yep,
And healthy, grounded men being of service is what this world needs more of.
I agree.
Not guys retreating, not guys, hooked on video games, not guys just
Yep.
that don't leave the house, but out there being of service. And again, what surprised me, the more of service I am, the more I help anyone, the better I feel.
I 100% agree with you. I understand that feeling too. Yes.
So there's this notion of it's not right to be selfish,
Hmm.
and it true in the sense of competitiveness. Like if
Hmm.
Mark, I want that hat, give me that hat. There's only
Yeah.
one hat in the world. That's got to be mine. No,
Yeah.
there's plenty for everyone, especially
Yep.
feelings. There's plenty of good feeling for everybody.
Yes.
Right?
I 100% agree on
So,
that too.
yeah, it's just open up. But if you're not willing to feel the depths of the emotional floor, you're also limiting how high you can feel, right? Like
Right.
I used to
Right.
think normal people were just had this flat, happy affect. Like everybody was like Ned Flanders. He goes, Oakley dokley, everything's great. Just that was I thought that was reality.
Uh-huh.
But no, there's always a roller coaster to life.
There is. Oh, yes.
But
Very much.
with growth, with better mindset, it's all about higher highs and higher lows,
Hmm.
right? So
Yes. Yep.
life it's the ideal stock market, right? It's all up
It,
and down.
it is. Yeah,
Trending
upward
up.
trend. Yes.
Yeah.
No. So, what do you think, young men? I see so many young men struggling today. Um, why do you think that is? I mean, everybody struggled at our generation, but I see a lot of lost men right now.
Yeah. And that's it. So every man should be in a men's group. Every man needs other men. We all need mentors, teachers, guides.
Yes. Yes.
There's a poet, I think it's John, I think it's the guy that wrote Iron John. And he
Okay.
has a line of there is a certain song that male cells sing that young men need to hear. Like we
Okay.
don't have initiations in this society. We don't have rituals. We don't have this passing on to becoming a man. So that's why the world is full of lost men that actually like boys in adult bodies.
Yes. Very much.
Yeah.
And you do see that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you see
So
men in their 30s that are still that way too.
sure.
So,
Yeah. And that's why gangs can take off because they're giving you a place to be, right? They're giving you
right.
that family, that brotherhood that we all need.
Never thought of it that way. I mean, which makes so much sense too. So, wow. So you don't have any siblings?
I do not.
Okay, okay. So what is next for what you're doing? I mean, do you have something that you're working on? I mean, I know you're backing a little bit. You're working on a lot of things, but
Yeah,
something
yeah,
that's
yeah.
at the forefront right now?
Um, there's some collaborations bubbling up. There might be some live events
Okay.
coming over the next year. That feels most bubbling in the surface. Um, but yeah, I'm like 10 months in a new home in a new town.
Oh,
Later
really?
today,
Cool.
I'm talking to the suicide prevention coordinator for my city. I didn't know such a
Very
position even existed. So
great.
yeah,
I'm glad you're talking to them.
yeah.
So, and you're back in Rhode Island?
I'm in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, yes. Okay, I knew it was in that area. So, okay, yeah, that's so important. I mean, there's so many things out there, so many things that can help people that I think they don't know about too. And
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
and it's getting the message like I have that there's the podcast, there's also on video. I've got a number of books out. It's this year is the 10th anniversary of my book Still Here: How to Succeed at Life After Failing at Suicide. And I recently
wow.
updated, so that was everything I wish I knew at 17.
Okay,
It was
okay.
all the metaphysical, the energy work, the things that I didn't know existed, and the things that I made fun of for years before I tried them and found like,
Hmm.
oh, this works. I feel better.
Exactly. So, did you always want to write a book?
Yeah, like I said, I was good in school. I always enjoyed writing.
Okay.
And I said, and at first it was, I was the kid that was like directing wrestling movies in my backyard, and pretending my
Okay.
doghouse was the Towering Inferno, and doing all sorts of disaster things on like 8 millimeter film and then videotape, and so yeah, I'm in the Screen Actors Guild. I've had a couple screenplays get optioned in Hollywood, but
Very
nothing's been
nice.
produced yet.
Yes, yes,
So yeah,
yet.
so creativity, expression has always been part of my dreams.
Okay.
Um, and again, the part that helped crack me open was that also just fiction, my actual experience and story can fuel
Mhm.
like entertainment. Doesn't have to just be escape.
I agree. I definitely agree. So was book right? Let's start. Go back to the book. This writing a book, was that difficult?
Oh, it was, yeah. Um, there's one chapter in the book. So I'm sharing, here's everything I know, here's everything I've learned, here's
Yeah.
everything I recommend. And before I published it, it was that I hit my wall. And I was like,
Ah, I can see.
who am I to publish this book? What am I? I'm such a
Hmm.
fraud. This is all nonsense. And I
Yep.
stopped doing all the things I have a number of daily rituals that keep me going. And I stopped doing them. And it was because
Wow.
it was the fraud mentality, right? It was, and so one chapter in the book is about, I know this works because when I stopped doing it, I got a lot worse. And I open it, I talk about that. And it's funny, the book has one negative review on Amazon. And it was a guy, I could tell he read the book. He's like, there's one chapter, the guy stopped doing everything. This is so nonsense. Don't listen to him. And I was like, you missed the point.
Yeah, he did it. Totally missed the point there.
Everything I shared like works. But
Wow.
yeah.
So this is kind of like imposter syndrome a little bit when you get
Oh yeah.
these. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Um,
But I mean, that is just. But I'm glad he. Any review get people to look at the book there. But
Oh, sure, yeah. No, like,
how
yeah, it's funny. And when you do, if you ever publish your own books, yeah, negative reviews get more attention. Like I'll
they
share it,
do.
and I've seen like people fight it out in comments on Amazon. Like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't have to defend myself. People that like the work will go, hey, did you
Yeah.
missed the
Yeah.
point? You know?
So how long did it take you to write that book?
Oh boy, how long did it take? It was boy it took years actually because
Okay. Okay.
my first goal was I'm going to write my autobiography
Okay.
and really be a prescriptive book in that sense. And I worked with a professional author and a professional ghostwriter who's had like New York Times best-selling books. And we worked on a book proposal. And it
Okay.
was like, you sell your book proposal before you write the book.
Ah. Right. Right.
And most publishing houses didn't get back to us all. The few that did, I think only two did. And one said, this book is needed. This book will be wonderful. But no
Yes.
publisher will touch it because nobody knows who you are.
Ah.
Yeah. I'm like, So that was uh, felt defeating to say the
I
least.
could
So
see
that's why I'm like,
that.
all right, well, I'll take it into pieces. I'm just gonna write this book still here. I'm gonna share the tools that help me. So it's not a memoir, like there's some stories of me, but it's more
Sure.
I want to be
Sure.
what's some helpful self-help material that I can
Right.
throw in
Yeah.
there. So I have books on affirmations. I have books about my holotropic breathwork experiences. There's still here. I've got a book on all the life lessons I learned from my hound dog Homer when he passed away.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. That. Yeah. I mean, that's tough. So, are you self-publishing?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Amazon makes it easy. I used to teach class on that. So I have this whole life of like, I figure something out, and then people, how'd you do that? Well, so for a while, I was the ebook guy. I was teaching classes online.
That's a win-win. That's very good. So we were talking about things you do for fun. What are some things? I know you do some stuff out in some other things you do that are fun, and we
Yeah.
think.
I love travel. I love adventure travel. Earlier this year, I visited 4 countries in Africa,
Oh
and
wow.
I bungee jumped at Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe.
Okay. Was that good?
I'm glad I did it. Yeah, it was way more painful than I thought it
Oh
was.
really?
But
Okay.
it makes sense. Like,
I've
if you
noted.
see footage of people, oh, it's the bungee, you don't see the rest. And it's just dangling there for minutes, bouncing and bouncing until it stops, and then
Okay.
they reel you in like a fish on a hook. Yeah, it
I'm
was
glad I know that
painful.
now.
I was definitely concussed. Um, I ended up having a hernia surgery 6 months
Oh,
later, and I'm like, I had no prior abdominal issues. No, it was, I'm like, could it have been the bungee jump? I was like, I've never heard of that, but sure.
maybe I can see that actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was like a
Oh,
car crash without being in a car. And again, glad I
yeah.
did. And I thought it just because, I'm in my 50s. I thought, oh, this is
Hmm.
why. But I met a kid who was 24 years old. He on the way to the airport, he's like, oh yeah, it was horrible. I like the same thing. So we were joking that nobody bungee jumps twice.
Good to know. I'm not gonna do it once then. Okay, very good to know. So,
But again, it was an
wow.
amazing experience. And 2 years ago, I jumped off the Stratosphere Tower in downtown Las Vegas. They have this free fall ride, and that was just
Yeah.
like you step off the ledge and just plummet. And that was
Oh
such a
wow.
rush. Like I was adrenalized all that night. I was like, I could do anything. But what
Oh
struck me,
wow.
because I've also stood on the top of a building, asking myself, can I jump to my death?
Hmm.
And there's the no in my head.
Good.
No, don't do this. This is not what you're
Mhm.
supposed to do. And I would judge that as weakness. It took me a long time to realize, no, that was life itself.
Strength.
That was
Yeah,
my
yeah.
higher self. That was God saying no.
Yeah, exactly.
But what amazes me as I stand on similar places and I'm going to jump, how different my entire body and soul knows. Like this is going to be fun. Like there's
Uh-huh.
no fear. There's no hesitation. And it's just so
Wow.
like, wow, how does every aspect of me know this is safe?
Yeah,
Fun?
exactly.
And then the other times like, no, do not take that step. So
Wow, that mind-boggling.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that
So yeah,
really
yeah,
is.
jumping for joy is a real thing.
Which makes sense, I guess. I never thought of it that way. I will always think of it that way from now on, too. So okay, Africa. You said you went to 4 countries in Africa. How did you pick those?
So last year, my wife and I were both laid off. So we
Okay.
had to sell the home we had lived in for like 20 years, and
Oh,
we did it.
wow.
We always knew we'd downsize, so our
Sure.
downsizing years came quicker than we
Really?
expected.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the proceeds of that, we knew we were downsizing. I'm like, well, let's do a great trip too. So
Yeah.
the proceeds of the house, we bought our current house outright in cash because yeah, they don't give many mortgages to people without jobs.
Nope. I've heard that.
So yeah, so part of it was this great trip to Africa. Victoria Falls was this place I always wanted to visit, but we
Okay.
got to visit Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and Zambia. And
Wow.
yeah, it was just boy, hundreds of elephants, dozens of lions,
Oh,
dozens of
so
hippos,
cool.
dozens of alligators. Yeah,
Okay. Good.
we
So
saw
it
all the
was
things.
it was better than you thought it'd be, or was it
Oh
about
yeah,
what you thought? Okay.
no, yeah, it exceeded expectations for sure. Yeah,
Nice. Never been to Africa. So do you have any more trips coming up?
my dream trip is
Okay.
Antarctica.
Awesome.
Yeah, I want to get to Antarctica. Um,
Cool. That
before
mean
it's
that
gone.
literally cold.
And yeah, I
So,
got the trip booked. I've seen, they'll cut the hole in the ice and you get to plunge. You have to sign your life away and you plunge into the Arctic ice and come back out fast. And yeah,
oh
anything that gets me
wow.
a certificate while I'm traveling, I'm all for it.
I love it. So do you have a lot of certificates and
Yeah,
everything?
yeah. All sorts of things. Yeah,
Oh,
we've done class 5 whitewater. I've rafted
wow.
with the #1 rated river in the world, the Fu in Chile. That was terrifying.
I would think.
I feel like, yeah, I actually won a Toastmasters competition once. I talked about my most terrifying vacation, and it was,
I can see that would have been that would have held everybody's interest. That's for sure.
yeah,
So wow.
yeah. And
So
I'm a big, I talked about roller coasters earlier.
oh
I love
yeah,
roller coasters.
me
So
too.
we've traveled. We've got my wife. I've done what we call the East Coast Coaster Tour, and we started in
Okay.
Massachusetts and go all the way down to Virginia and hit every amusement park and come on back. And we go to Cedar Point often, but all the Six Flags parks. And again, one thing that always stood out for me. No matter how depressed I think I am, you put me in the front seat of a roller coaster, I'm not depressed.
No, yeah, true.
Yeah. So like, then it
Yeah,
can't. That's why I always like, well, then it can't just be a chemical thing because it doesn't
I get
stick. It doesn't
true. Yeah,
hold
never.
true in
Right,
every
right.
circumstance. Yeah.
I've never thought of it that way either, but that's very true. So, oh my gosh. So, have you ever skydived?
Yes,
Did you
yeah,
like it? I take it you liked it.
I did. I loved it, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this all the time. I'm gonna get certified, and then I
Uh-huh.
landed, and the guy so it was a tandem jump. It was my first jump ever. I think it was my 35th birthday, right?
Okay.
And the landing, I came in and like there was like a sand pit to land on, and we came in low, so my butt rammed into the side of this sand pit. So
Ah.
my tailbone was bruised, and I couldn't do
Ouch.
anything else that summer. I couldn't.
Oh.
I sat.
Oh.
It was painful to sit anywhere. So
Uh,
that ended my skydiving. I
for,
would try
for,
it again, but yeah, all
I,
my plans to get certified and take classes that year were like, nope.
so, what is something that you want to do like that you haven't done yet?
It's getting limited. Bungee jumping was the last big thing.
Was it
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. So I'm not aware of an activity that I haven't done yet that I still want to do.
That
Like,
is so
yeah,
cool.
get into Antarctica. Like, I would love to visit both poles.
Yeah,
Like,
that would
yeah,
be
I don't want to
awesome
just go
too.
to Antarctica and like touch the end of it and like, yeah, I'm on Antarctica. Like, no, I want to get to the South
Yeah,
Pole, right?
yeah, it's like I'm actually here. Yeah, I understand that feeling very much. So your wife goes along with you on all these?
Oh yeah, she was a big international traveler before we met.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and that's why. So if we go to Antarctica, that's her last. That's the 7th continent for her. So she went to Australia before we met.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh, do I get to to Australia first? Do I let my wife
Right, right,
see
yeah.
all 7 continents?
Wow. So how did you guys meet, or how, if I may ask? If,
Oh, so yeah, all right. So my best friend, one of my best friends from high school, married her best friend, and so
okay.
she played matchmaker with us.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
know.
One of those deals.
I was just going to pick up my friend one day, and Lori, my wife Lori, was there to meet me. She was intentionally there to see me, and I'm just like, "Yeah, how you doing? What's up? Let me out here."
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
why are you trying to talk to me? Like, let me out of here. We're here to pick up my friend. We're going out. So, yeah, so, yeah. So nothing
Wow.
stuck for me. But then they had a party a few months later, and I was at the party, and she was too. And she's like, "You probably don't remember me." No, I remember, and I remembered her name, and I told her her name. She's like, "Oh, that's impressive." Uh,
Uh-huh.
anyway, one thing leads to another. By the end of this party, we're kissing and making out, and and it's funny because she has a different memory of our first kiss.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
interesting
like,
too, then.
ah,
Okay.
so we're married because you were in a blackout? Is that what you're telling me? But
Oh.
yeah, so we had I this is another magical moment. I really had at our first date. I
Uh-huh.
remember staring into her eyes, and I reach across. This is our first date. We're at a restaurant, and I reach
Right.
across
Yeah.
my hand, and I'm just like in my head, I'm like, "Good God, I'm gonna marry this woman. Like this is."
You
I
just know.
didn't, another thing, like I didn't know this was real. I'm having,
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, you're the one. This is it.
Yes. Yes. I
And
know that feeling.
within 6 months we were living together within so we met at a like a it was around Halloween, and our wedding was a Halloween party, and
That sounds
yeah,
cool.
it was a blast. Yeah, people still talk about it, like people.
I bet.
And
I
it was a
love
small
that.
place, like people were trying to pay, people were trying to buy admission. I'm like, it can't fit any more people. It's not like
What a
we're that.
wedding! Well, we made money on the wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, that is. Oh,
And I've been
I love
yeah,
that.
all the things that I'm into I wasn't into before. So
Okay.
my wife married me when I just was, and I warned her, like I'm a suicidal psychopath at times. Are you sure you want this? And I gave her
Yeah.
multiple chance, like this. Here's your chance to like run away.
Mm-hmm.
And she had been warned that I was a sensitive guy,
Okay.
and I don't know about you, like that still triggers me. Like
Yeah.
I can say, oh, like, oh, I'm a sensitive guy, but if I hear
Mm-hmm.
other people talk about it, it feels like a put down.
I hear you. 100%. I know what you mean because I am too, and it does when somebody else says it. It's like a put,
Yeah.
a slam, kind of a
Yeah, it's
slam and
not said
everything.
as a like, oh, he's got all these things going for him. He's a
Yeah.
sensitive guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
It's
oh,
like he's a sensitive guy. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So yep.
But
But
yes, yeah. So she knew about my history, and there have been times when I've been down that, as a way to make it easier
uh-huh.
to harm myself, I tried to make her leave. Right?
Really?
Yeah,
Oh
and
wow.
she never fell for it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
She's your true partner.
yeah, yeah,
So
and everything. Yeah, she's the biggest cheerleader, biggest supporter. And again, we've both become more spiritual. We both do energy work. We both do all these things. And people say, "Oh, is this how you met?" I'm like, nope, none of us believe
yes,
it.
afterward that.
So, and that's the thing. Like all relationship, be willing to grow, and ideally you grow together.
Yes.
But if
Nothing
one
better.
person grows and one person's like, nope, I'm staying right where I am, then well,
Yeah.
then it's not going to last.
It isn't going to last. No, I mean that is. So, what got you both into spiritual work? Was there something that got you both into that?
Yeah, it was me not wanting to die.
Okay, that was even
Yeah,
for you and your wife together then. So,
yeah.
okay.
So I would find things, do things. What was it? So when The Secret first came out, that blew my
Yeah.
mind because I
Okay.
had been told I was at the mercy of my thoughts and emotions, right? I was at the mercy of
Ah,
chemicals. And this said,
okay.
no, your thinking controls your emotions. You're like, so I would do an experiment, and I would like, I'm feeling really blue. And then they're like, oh, and then there was this one time I was looking out, seeing a tree out my window. And every time I looked at this tree, I just imagined myself hanging from it. And
Oh
then my
my
dog came
word.
into the room. I'm like, oh, hi, sweet. I'm like, wait a minute, how quick that changed. And I'd look out the window, think about that, feel gross and heavy. Then I'd pet my dog and I'd feel better. I'm like, this is amazing. What I
Right.
focus
It
on
is.
is totally changing how I feel.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and that started it. So
And,
uh, I was
and
working with I've worked with most of the people featured in The Secret by now.
okay.
Um, and then there was one point that someone told me, from across the country, someone tuned into me and said, Andy, all this suicidal stuff, all this suicidal energy, it's not even yours. And I was like, great. What does that mean?
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's what I learned about energy, and I uncovered that I was an empath as a kid. So
Okay.
I can remember, third times in third grade, other people's emotions would come through me. I was just
Mm-hmm.
this open sponge. Because I
Mm-hmm.
remember, like, and again, I thought I was crazy, but I was depressed and I'm crying. And I'm like, I'm crying over nothing. I have no idea why this is happening.
Yep.
And I come to realize I was picking up the fears and the concerns and the stress of other kids, and it came out through me.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I learned boundaries. I learned energy.
Very important. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
everything I do with clients is something that I learned to literally save my life. And the things that didn't
Wow.
help me don't get mentioned in books, don't get passed
Okay.
on. But it's
Awesome.
everything. Like I mentioned, that life activation happened before the
Mm-hmm.
podcast was birthed.
Mm-hmm.
And during that life activation, I remember thinking, I don't know what she's doing, but I know I'm going to learn this.
Mm-hmm.
I did, and now that's one of the things I offer to people.
Yep. So do you work? I mean, you coach people then, or do you?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm a coach and healer.
Okay.
Again, recently moved, so I'm getting established in this new town. Um, the coaching and Akashic record readings can all be done over Zoom. The most
Okay.
powerful activation, like the life activation, has to be done in person. Right?
Makes sense.
So it's a nice bit. Yeah, but I help people. This is something that I learned through the Modern Mystery School. We have practitioners all around the world. So when I meet people, if someone hears me on a podcast like this and reach out to
Right.
me, I'll
Right.
help find someone near you. Like, you're
Okay.
welcome to come to Massachusetts, but I realize everyone doesn't want to do that. So we find someone near you.
So how do people find? How do they find you to work with you?
But the best thing is at my website, andygrant.com. You want
Okay.
to fall for an imitator. But that's where
Cool.
all the information, my books, the podcast is there. I've recently launched a free online community called Authentic AF, where
Okay.
people can have that connection, which is a safe space. It's not a social media place. It's just, here's what's going on for me. It's a place you can regurgitate if needed and get support.
Oh,
And I lead
that's
group
good.
meditations. We have men's check-in circles, and we have just casual coffee hours where people just come and just shoot the breeze and
Perfect.
just connect with people.
So important. That is very, very important. I mean, you need open wells in Nebraska. So yeah, I mean, everywhere needs
Yeah,
that.
and that's the neat
And
thing because so it's on school, which if people aren't
I
familiar,
do, I do know school, yeah,
yeah.
but
So it's a
yeah.
school platform, so you can see.
Okay.
You can see where people are, and you can connect. You have the ability to chat with other members. So, like if you join this community, then you see on the map and like, oh, someone else is here like 10 minutes away from me. Great, and you make it virtual. You take the virtual, make it real. In my
Nice. I love that. So you said you've worked with almost everybody that was in The Secret. What part of that is your life that you haven't? How did you get to that point?
um, boy, see, I've got too many stories for you, man. So one of the people in the secret ended up in prison, and he
Oh,
happened to be the
okay.
first person I followed, and
Okay.
it was not good. So that was another thing. That was my 5 steps forward, 10 steps back.
Mhm.
I witnessed a suicide at one of his live events,
Oh my
and
word.
the wind of it was like I couldn't connect with it. Like I witnessed someone fall to her death, and I spoke up at this whole ballroom telling I saw this, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to follow her. It didn't connect. I was like, why would anyone do this? We were in San Diego, it was beautiful. I felt
Hmm.
alive and good. Turns out she was a participant in the seminar,
Okay.
and the guy leading it knew it at that point and covered it up. He lied to me right to my face. He lied to all of us. He just hid that one of
Oh.
us had just died.
Wow.
Then his next event was in Arizona, and more people died in a sweat lodge, and that's what got him on the news and ended up sending him to jail. But I was
Wow.
on Nightline, I was on CNN. Yeah, it was not pleasant, and that put
No.
a stop to my. But he was not walking his talk. He was not living what
Definitely not.
right.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was a great, it was a great lesson. It
Yeah.
was not feeling it at the time because there were people online talking about online and
Yeah.
reactions.
Yeah.
There were people because I had blogged about what I saw. There were
Right.
people saying that I was part of this cult that had killed this woman.
Oh
Yeah.
my word.
And I became like I don't know how celebrities deal with it because I became hooked on searching for my name and seeing who was attacking me now and what were they accusing me of, and
Hmm.
it took a long time for me to like break that habit.
I
Right?
could see that'd be tough.
Yeah.
I could see that'd be very tough.
Right.
Wow.
But
You've been
yeah,
through so
I'm not
many
even. I won't
things.
even give him the attention by saying his name. But if anyone, if you
Yeah.
search, you would figure it out. But
You,
I've worked with a lot of other wonderful people too, and I got to
uh,
meet Louise Hay. Uh,
okay.
and
Awesome. So what
why
should
I
we hear? Go ahead. Where did you meet her at?
It was a Hay House event. It was before it was.
Okay.
I just knew
Okay.
I'm supposed to do something. They had an
Okay.
event in Boston called Movers and Shakers.
Okay.
It's all about how to make a platform and make a radio show, get a book deal. And they had a contest of making a video, and the best video might win a book deal, might win things from Hay House. And I wasn't going to do it
Uh-huh.
because like I don't have anything yet. I'm just this
Uh-huh.
guy, you know.
Right. I hear you.
What's
I know
what
what you
am I?
mean. Uh-huh.
Anyway, so other people that I met, they were like, "No, Andy, get it. You're good. You're so good. You're a storyteller. Go do it." So I told the story of witnessing the suicide in San Diego, and Louise Hay saw it,
Mm-hmm.
and she sent a message to me saying, "You're right. You don't have your platform. You don't have your package here yet, but you are so captivating on Vizio. Whatever you do, don't stop doing videos." It's like,
Okay.
hey, and as I said, well,
Yeah.
what do you
Especially
say?
when something like that's telling you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and
Wow.
yeah. So I got they made up a special award. Like I didn't win, but they an honorable mention or something that got
Right.
called out.
Right.
And I was like, all right. So I that's the first time I thought, all right, I got something. I still don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And like I worked with Brenda Bouchard. I would go to different events trying to get it, and I would meet guys who would say, "You're the suicide guy. Yeah, you're the suicide." I'm like, no,
Oh.
that is yeah, and that's
Yeah.
not my
Not something to
like
be
that's
known by.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. So but people would get excited from my energy, my stories, my sharing. But yeah, it's taken a while to find out now what do I do with that, and what do I do with
Yeah.
that is like there's so much more. Right. It's the
Yes.
world of energy work. It's the world of
Yes.
mindset. It's the world
Yes.
of breath work.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the last tip in my book is explore alternatives. Like when the
True.
mental hospital wasn't working for me, when psych meds weren't working for me, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know there were alternatives. So I doubled down on trying to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But there's
Mm-hmm.
so many things to try and
True.
do what works for you. And
Yes.
all the time when I come on a show like this, and I've just regurgitating information on people at this point, but hopefully my goal is that I say something that sparks enough interest that you look into it further, right? And then just
Hey,
trust
awesome.
that. Trust
Yes.
what you're called
Yes.
to.
Yes. Yeah. If it resonates with you, there's a reason why it does. So, oh my gosh. So, Andy, I mean, you said you have some screenplays too that you have that are.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been doing something like that, writing screenplays?
Oh, boy. Uh, when did I first run? I started taking classes in like 2005. I was meeting producers and stuff probably from 2008 to 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, I still have one screenplay that's kicking around Hollywood. Every now and then someone
Cool.
re-options it. It's the furthest is like it's been read by famous directors and celebrities, and
Nice.
that's as far as it's been. Like
That's
seen this.
really pretty good though.
They
That's
don't go
pretty
right.
awesome.
They don't laugh me off, but yeah. Um, and I said earlier before I went on my first Hollywood trip, I was visualizing and I was
Uh-huh.
saw people
Important.
and I
Yeah, exactly.
and it all happened. But what I visualized and what happened was I was being toasted and celebrated in the Hollywood Hills, and it started because I was the only person. It was a group of writers. I was the only person that had multiple people ask for my screenplay. So all the other writers were toasting me. I was like, "Oh, this is my vision! Oh my god!" So like now I
So
gotta
cool.
up my vision and get a sale.
That's true. You do. Oh, I love that. And you do have your energy's awesome. Your vibe and everything. Do you do in-person events? I mean, like,
Not. I mean,
like
I have not done in person stuff since before COVID.
okay, but you
Yeah,
did before
exactly.
that with you
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Okay. Would you ever want to do that again, or is that
Oh
something
yeah,
that's kind
yeah.
of
Again, that's I got a couple single day events finally percolating for this fall for the first time. Yeah, no, there's stuff.
I would love to attend one of your events. If there's something like that, I would definitely love to meet you in person.
We can do
It would
that.
be great. And so, Andy, before we end the podcast, is there anything else you would like to share with the audience?
You matter.
Hmm.
That's it.
I love
If
that.
you
True.
until you believe that you matter, life will be more of a struggle than it needs to be.
Yes, 100%. That's a great way to end the podcast because it's nothing matters except for that you do matter. So, so on that, take that to heart, people, because that is great wisdom there. And Andy, thank you for being on the Dreamcatcher podcast.
My pleasure.
And I look forward to keeping in touch with you and seeing your journey. Wow. I'm intrigued what your next thing will be in your journey. So, but anyway, thank you for joining us today and have a good rest of your day.
You too. Be well.